Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Now, if you guys didn't know, the Tellurian podcast 1 hour recording did go out today, and there's some really interesting stuff related to what I talked about in my video earlier on, which is to do with this new upcoming dungeon. It is going to be kind of crazy, and it's also going to feature a rotation of champions, primarily new champions, to get things such as the new accessories and the new relics as well, the new faction relics that are going to be coming to Raid Shadow Legends. I want to talk about that and more. I did a little bit of a thing. I watched this, and then we're going to break down the important parts that I did on live stream, and then we're going to put all this together. We're going to talk about it and see how you guys think about this upcoming content, which seems to be coming quite soon. However, I think that they're going to be starting off by featuring the Web of Corruption legendaries. So that's going to include none other than Hagaba the Nestmaid, which I made a point to talk about in this video as well, because I know a lot of people skipped her, and we're going to see how that's going to impact things at all in this upcoming event. Now, before we get further in this, I do want to talk about the QR code in the top right hand of the screen. You can get King Galkabar, recently reworked of Sylvan Watchers, absolutely free, and also Venomage, Tagore, and Farrakhan the Fat at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget about your pal, Pelops the Victor. All you gotta do is use the promo code RAID7 in the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, so this is the Tellurian podcast. This is what they're talking about with relations to the champion proving grounds. And I wanted to cover this a little bit here, right? I want to see what's going on now that we have a little bit more information. I think it's really interesting that they're
Here
kind
we
of
go.
talking about this.
Okay, so the new feature is the champion proving ground.
But I want to just pause this really quickly because it does scroll down really fast. So you have to use, they're basically double boss stages, which scale in difficulty. And as you can see here, that on stage 8, there's like Arcane Keep and Bommel. Never before have we seen these combination of bosses before, because previously we had only seen like in Cursed City, right? And they never had faction wars bosses and keep bosses together with other bosses, right? There's Doom Tower ones. You can see here at stage 5, there's Iron Twins with Griffin. You can see Spirit Keep with fucking one of the faction wars hard bosses, Sand Devil, Bommel, and Arcane Keep. And on the left hand side, I think this is really funny because you get points based on the champions you use, and also if you use some of the ones that they want you to use, you get bonus points. And I can't help but just look that there's Hagaba here at X9 points, and there's a Bommel here on stage 8. And why I find this really funny is because Hagaba was that #1 Bommel killer boss, and everyone was just saying, no, don't do the fusion, and she's a skip because of this. And then lo and behold, there is a reason to want to use her, I guess for the points as well, but maybe when this comes back, or just more broadly, there's going to be more than one instance of Bommel where you're going to want to do this. I find this really funny, actually. And of course, I actually have all 6 of the Web of Corruption characters. Went through that. I did complete the Hagaba fusion without using the fusion token. So it's interesting how this is playing out. And then we have Masahiro down here. Some of the ones in the Argonites factions, what I call Big Titties from Ogren, who I tried to get multiple times, and crap, I forget his name, Sidax, I think, over here, right? And so we're going to carry on.
It's a new rotation-based dungeon available to players of level 6.
There's another Bommel here at stage 17. This is a harder version, though, I think. Arcane Keep here and Bommel at stage 17. Anyways, I kind of missed how fast they were scrolling through this, but yeah, you can maybe go back.
And above.
Is there more Bommels? I don't know.
It consists of 27 stages, each featuring a battle against different boss pairings. Completing stages and following specific...
Yeah, it does look like you can use any characters to get this done. It's cool. I actually like this. I love the double boss idea from Cursed City. And so this is probably going to be really effing hard, especially if you're trying to use the challenge characters that give you the bonus points. But I like the idea. And we'll see how the implementation is on this, because it sounds cool and it sounds fun, right? And it gives us something to do, right? And the combination it's probably gonna suck, right? Like a magic keep with the maybe that's not so hard because you need block buffs for magic unless they hypercharge the kits. I'm not sure if they're doing that. But the faction wars hard bosses are definitely hard, even for characters, even getting to choose your own characters, right?
Stage conditions earns you points, and the more points you earn, the
Okay, so just to go back to that a little bit, can I scroll back just a touch here? Points earned based on the characters you use, and obviously there's star based stuff here, so there might be perhaps based on if people died, maybe some other mechanics as well. And if you use certain legendary characters from Web of Corruption and others, you'll get bonus points.
And the more points you earn, the more stars you get per stage, and the better your rewards will be. So it's kind of similar to the star system like we have on Faction Wars, like in campaign, you know, kind of similar. You earn in stars and you have the progress bar with milestones and rewards down there. The dungeon won't require any energy, but you will have keys. I think it will kind of work similar to what we have with Siege, where you have like attack scrolls and rematch scrolls. In this case, you will have like 3 keys to access stages and try to beat those bosses, and 3 rematch keys. Each rotation will last for 28 days and feature its own unique champion pool. Such pools will often include fusion champions or champions from the recent guaranteed events, and so on and so forth. As for rewards, I think it's our favorite part, probably, especially as the players. You'll be able to earn some by clearing the stages, obviously, and you will have these like milestone rewards, the progress bar for earning stars. The milestone rewards will feature starstone, relic crafting materials for a new relic group, and a new type.
This is a little bit what I was concerned about, because they talked about this was in the patch notes that when I did a video of this earlier about the 11.7, I think it was, and they said faction-based relics. So that sounded slightly concerning. Now, I don't know how many of these relics are going to be in. I guess it's going to be in the game pretty soon. I think as of recording, it's not in the game just yet. It's interesting for sure.
Accessories exclusive to this game mode.
Accessories exclusive to this game mode. So let's hopefully we find out what these bonuses are.
That was a lot. I think a lot to take in, and before, I mean, like, I ended the whole speech on accessories, and before anyone starts to panic, don't panic. We'll add 200 slots to the storage for...
Is that enough, guys? I don't know. I talked about this in my other video. I don't know if 200 artifact and accessory slots for how many factions there are, and the fact that they never really added any when Argonites came out, I don't know if that's really enough. Why do they only do like a little bit at a time? Can't they give us like 500? Why 200?
Both like accessories and artifacts. So plus
Thank you very
200
much.
slots. Yeah, so
Oh, praise the overlords
right,
on 200
all right.
slots.
I mean, like, if we can talk about the rewards a bit.
Quite interesting, right? If we look at the bottom of the screen, yeah, I know my YouTube bar is in the way a little bit, but you can see the accessories that they give out there, right? And at least every, I don't know, 12 to 12, 10-ish stars, like 6, and then 18, and then 27, there's more of them. And then the relic materials down here at 310, whatever, star shards is what it is. I got shit tons of that. I don't really need so much. And then purple, it looks like it's going to last a while, but there's going to be a couple of rotations of this. And to go back, and I don't know where they first showed it. I guess it was like here. So it lasts for 6 weeks or whatever, and there might be like 3 rotations during this time, right? Or maybe 2 rotations. I'm not sure, because it looks like 2 weeks, 5 days down here. And if you look in game over down here just before this, right, it did show the new pools. So there might be 2 different pools during one champion proving grounds. But it also doesn't sound like it's a permanent feature. It sounds like it's going to last for a while, shut down for a little while, kind of like event dungeons, and then come back again. I think it would have been really cool to be a permanent feature, and maybe I missed something. Maybe I don't know fully what is actually there, and that is my bad. You know, if someone wants to post in the comments down below about what I missed, there was some relics here. They're talking about the relics. There's some relics. Let's maybe start here.
2 on you.
items: the anomalous jewelry and the new faction relics.
New faction relics.
This is the primary items. Yeah, they will bring new substats. They will in new anomalous jewelry we exclude the flat substats. Totally exclude.
No flat substats on the new anomalous accessories. So I don't know if that means on the main stat. Oh, they said no flat stats, but does that mean on the main stats or percentage based stats? And so that's going to be really powerful if that's the case, or if it just means on the substats there's no flat stats. I mean, could go either way. But sounds like they're going to be very powerful accessories. Of course, that is going to mean that you're going to be breaking potentially, whether it's a 9-piece merciless, a 9-piece protection, or whatever, right? If you're using any of those, you know, they're not going to have their own set necessarily.
And we give, if I'm not mistaken, 8 new substats to that pool of substats.
Okay.
You never will get the flat HP or attack or defense there. You will also have some percentage with original pool of the stats or the new bonus from the pool.
Which new
The
ones
bonus,
are they?
like, it's pretty unusual to have those kind of bonuses. Kind of, it's something new. Can you talk a bit more, like, tell us a bit more about, like, what was the thought behind this decision, like, to add those bonuses, and what, guys, you think, like, about the whole thing, how it will work?
Okay, this is kind of what I was waiting to find out about a little bit here. Was just some more details here.
And decreasing damage.
Increases damage in PvP battles. Decreases the damage received by the wearer in PvP. Okay, so it's a PvP set that you're doing PvE content to get. Not surprising, of course, is it? But disappointing that it won't. These bonuses or the effects on the accessories will not be available in PvE battles when you're doing basically PvE battles to get them. But
that your champion takes in the PvP battle. And another part is PvE. It's increasing damage and decreasing in PvE.
Oh, okay, maybe I didn't finish. Increase damage in PvE battles to bosses, and then decreases the damage received by the wearer in PvE battles from bosses. Okay, so I guess that is okay. Not for wave-based content. Sounds like it would be more for like clan boss, right? That's kind of like the area that they're looking to move that into. Don't think that's I guess like Cursed City and shit like that, but by and large, bosses is more relevant in the clan boss scenario. Hopefully that works.
Battles from and to bosses and in the dungeons. So the second part with PvE, you can stack these bonuses and, for example, have additional damage in PvE battles, reduction damage from the bosses in PvE battles, and additional damage in dungeons, for example. We will build in this additional layer with accessories in a current set that already exists. So, for example, if you have, I don't know, let's say stone skin, for example, with 9 pieces, you can just farm 3 pieces of accessories and change your original accessories from the 9 pieces set.
Nice. Good.
I think I'm a little bit confused by this statement. Maybe I didn't hear it super properly. It almost suggested that the anomalous accessories are just existing sets that have this anomalous tag on the pieces. I don't know if I heard that right, if that was it, because that was my concern, was that basically these new anomalous accessories would be breaking up 9-piece sets, right? For protection, for merciless, or whatever. And whether or not that would be worth doing in some of these instances. So, because some of the bonuses are quite powerful, right? Especially in merciless and protection. And maybe some other ones, but as that relates to me anyways, would be basically those ones. So, again, not sure if that's how I properly understood it, but that's what I kind of took from that.
We're going to have something new. And and I saw in some pictures that we might also get some materials from Relics. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, sure, the relics, not just ordinary relics, but the faction relics. And this is kind of interesting. First of all, as you can see there on the materials, we have different types of rewards, of materials in the rewards. So we have rare, epic, legendary, etc. But in that group, we'll have only legendary relic. So this faction relics group will include 6 legendary relics.
6 legendary relics, so only legendary relics, not others, which is weird because I'm pretty sure I saw previously when we were looking at the rewards on the bottom, it showed different color of relic materials is what I saw, but now they're saying that it's like minimum legendary?
With additional stats that work when you put this relic in the proper champion.
Okay, so it's a relic that can be used on everyone, but if you slot it into someone of the correct faction, then they will get additional bonus stats on that as well. I guess that's pretty interesting, I suppose. Hopefully they are good, though, whatever that bonus happens to be.
General bonus and stats from relics work with every champion, but the faction bonus will work only with corresponding to the faction champion. And we don't need to develop this faction bonus. It's already in the maximum. You just need to develop
Okay, so we only develop the main stats and the actual normal effect of the relic, but the faction one, it stays the same. It is always at the maximum.
That's right.
Oh, nice. Something really cool, very different from what we had before. That's something that we're going to be happy to grind for.
Wait, are they also suggesting that they're maxed out on their level too? That you don't need to like upgrade them? That it's like once you have it, you have it? Because that's almost like almost like a 6-star relic that you would get like right out of the gate. I don't even have a 6-star relic. I'm not sure if that's what did I also interpret that the way that others thought? I'm not entirely sure there. That's what it sounded like almost to me, I think.
Can we expect like that these rewards will be exclusive only to this game mode, or are we thinking about like expanding it? Maybe in the future, I don't say like 2 rotations in and we'll add it everywhere else, but do we have like any thoughts about that?
Well, we can expect like the additional source of getting, because we have a lot of sets and we have a lot of ideas for the relics maybe. So we'll spread these new rewards to different new features in the next releases.
Ooh.
I can't wait to ultra hard mode on Green Forest with anomalous accessories of Mercurio.
Oh my god! No more Mercurial, please, no.
Mercurio Arrest dominates the PvP, so we're waiting for Mercurio to dominate the PvE too.
It's interesting, the Cat's Gaze will be in the list of the top relics with this new faction relics, but it's really cool stuff. You will see the numbers, you will see the bonuses, and because right now we are pretty straightforward in our meta. We understand how to build the damage dealers, but we'll also have champions with the primary HP stat, and we need to develop them also, and we need to look into some maybe not powerful nukers, but with the debuff, and trying to do something with them. So I think these relics will be really interesting content and really interesting items for the next few months of the game.
Oh, twists. I love twists. Let's see what we're going to get from that.
And I mean, considering that, like the exclusiveness of the rewards that we've just talked about, I think it kind of proves it fair that the challenge that you are expected to do to beat like is pretty hard. I mean, like you'll have to like build team with the champion pools and so on and so forth. But it's kind of fair considering that you will have pretty nice rewards after that. So
yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
You're saying as well that I saw in like the teaser screenshot in those champion pools that we'll get like a little teaser as well of what champions are going to be featured in the next rotations. And I can see from the thing that they're hidden away, right? So I guess that's going to be if they're new champions that aren't released yet. They're obviously not going to display if they're not in the game, but it's going to give us some info. Like I think one of them had maybe a fragment. So okay, the next fragment fusion is going to be in the next or one of the upcoming fragment fusions will be in this rotation. So
Yeah.
I can prepare for that. Cool. Okay. If I want to make sure to progress well in this dungeon, I can save up and be prepared for that fragment fusion. Yeah, is it always going to be new champions? Is that like the big goal? Is we want players to experiment and build new champions? Are you going to ever bring back older champions into this? What's the sort of plan there? What's the big goal with it?
It depends on rotation. I think it can be connected somehow with the event that's currently in the game, but in general, it will be new champions and a new approach to the building of the teams. That's the essence of the feature.
Will it feature all
So I think this is interesting, though, and worth noting, because it seems like this is another reason for them to push you obtaining and also building the newest champions of they're talking about events, so things like the Web of Corruption event that we saw at the beginning there with the boosted characters, right? A lot of people decided to skip some of these characters or didn't go and unlock them because they didn't know about this stuff. It almost sounds like the first rotation of this new dungeon is in fact going to be, Web of Corruption based at the beginning. And going forward, when it comes to bigger events and maybe collab events and things like that, it's going to be important that you get as many of them as possible, or at least the ones that you can use in this dungeon so that you can maximize your points and also get more of these rewards. So it's almost putting more stress on the players to obtain these characters if you care about these what's probably going to be very end game rewards, right? This is not, I don't think this is necessarily based on the levels of the bosses that we're fighting. I don't think it's new player friendly stuff. I think it's mostly like maybe a little bit mid game, but mostly end game, to be honest, or like 1.5 year plus kind of content, right? The kind of people who have a lot of stuff. That's kind of what I think on that as well. And you're gonna probably want to book out maybe some of these characters that you just unlocked as well earlier on, so that you can use them in these dungeons and get it cleared. Maybe you don't necessarily need to book everyone, but we do know that PvE content for bosses, especially, that sometimes they're longer fights, so sometimes the books and the cooldowns matter on things like that. Interesting, but I think it's going to put more pressure on building and building faster, I think, because it's going to be time based. Sorry, after all that I saw on the live stream, that's really started making me think about my Web of Corruption characters. Speaking of my Web of Corruption characters, there's Valorant over here, who I just hit level 60, actually. But more broadly, right, I have them. Raya the Mourned is level 60. I guess Valorant is now level 60, but I haven't I don't think oh no, sorry, I did. I did max out his mastery, so he is available there. And then who else that I haven't really kind of finished out? What's her name? Should be there as well. Who I had the 5 red. Did I not activate the 5 red yet? Maybe she's not there yet. Legendaries, right? If we start by legendaries, who am I thinking of? Obviously, what's her name? I don't think I've put it in there yet. Her. Sorry, she's not level 60. Or no, she is. She's not 6-star ascended. That's what I meant. Telena Soulseer, right? So that's the other Web of Corruption character. We have Varkos Headsplitter, who I don't have at 60, and then Hagava, the Nest Maid. Also, I believe they still included Folin in there as well as part of the Web of Corruption, because I think he's part of that. So he is 60? No, he's not. Where are you, Folin? Is he 59? He's like somewhere up here, or no? Maybe I missed him. Sorry, I have so many legendary characters. Maybe I just completely bypassed it. Here we go, Folin Silverheart, right? So they're all part of this Web of Corruption event, and these are going to be the starting characters that are probably going to be used in this event dungeon, or this. Well, it's almost like an event dungeon, and maybe that's the characters that I need to work on. So getting Varkos and getting Hagaba to 60 might be the next thing that I should do, because the other 4 I do have at 60. These aren't quite at 60, but maybe with the champion training for the fusion event, this is something that I should probably get done in case I need to use these characters. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, right? But of course, what an interesting set of conversations and topics. I am very much looking forward to seeing this release and doing some content on it and just see how it is for my kind of roster, right? Which is like a year and a half in. So we'll see if I end up getting my ass beat or not, or if I can actually make any progress in this. And how I don't expect it to be new player content, new player friendly content, but is it content that, say, free to play players after a year can engage with? I guess we'll find out. Now, of course, before we go, King Galkabar, make sure to use him. My new promo link is amazing. And also Venomage, Tagore, and Farrakhan the Fat at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. When you're making a new account, don't forget to use Pelops the Victor, promo code RAID7 within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. That is my take on the new dungeon and the new content. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next video.
And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.